Today we're trying every spells from Cataclysm Spellbook. Not to be confused with Teo's Magic and Extra that also has a compat with Iron Spells and Spellbook. This is another mod that only focuses on Cataclysm. If you want to see the other one, link's gonna be in the description. And before we start, I want to make a disclaimer. These spells might feel overpowered, so I just want you to know that, because some of them are really strong. And we are going to start with the Fire spell. So the first one we're checking is Incineration. This is basically the ultimate attack from Ignis. Makes a ring of fire that lasts a certain amount of time, and if you look at the DPS, this thing is extremely strong. The higher the level, the longer it lasts, and the longer the line of circle is. Next we have Tectonic Tremble. This one creates a shockwave that spews fire around you, and it just did 180 DPS. Please do mind that I have the armor that boosts 20% fire damage plus 5% per piece of armor, so I do technically 100% more damage right now than the spell does. Next we have Unfolding Coruscation. These are the fireballs that Ignis can shoot. If you shoot it at full HP, or in fact above 50 HP, they will be yellow. But if you are below 50%, they will become blue fire. Of course I healed because of the Blazing Brand, but you know what I mean. And the last one will be purple and does more damage. Most of these spells will inflict Blazing Brand on hit, which will also heal you. Next we have Ashen Breath. This is the breath from the Ignited Revenant. It is also causing blindness. The higher the spell, the higher the damage. And of course for the fireballs, the higher the level, the more fireball you can cast. Next we have Piercing Bone. These are the bones from the Ignited Revenant. They are multicast ability, and the last one will shoot 3. The higher the level, the more multicast you have. Then there's the Bone Storm, which is basically the same thing, but it's when it's throwing it all around. Higher the level, the higher the damage, and the higher the amount. Then we have Hellish Blade. This will summon the incinerator from above, striking its target. But if you hold the incinerator in your hand, also the cooldown is extremely long, 1.2 minutes to be exact. But like I said, if you have incinerator in your hand, you will deal even more damage, and also inflicting Blazing Brand and stunning your target. Next we have Ignited Reinforcement. This will summon a bunch of Ignited Berserker and Ignited Revenant to help you. The higher the level, the higher the number of summons you have and their HP. Next we have Infernal Strike. This is very similar from Hellish Blade, but it shoots a sword in front of you. But it doesn't pierce, it's only one target, but the cooldown is way better. Then there's Meteor Spew. This is the firebomb from the Netherite Monstrosity. It throws lava that lasts underground for a little while before disappearing. And we have Comet Shower. This throws the bombs from the arm of the Netherite Monstrosity. The higher the level, the more the number of ball there is. And finally, the last fire spell is called Scorch Earth. This is a multicast spell that throws fireball that does a repercussive amount of damage, throwing fire everywhere. Now let's look at the holy spell. There's only 2 of them, and both of them are summons. The first one is called Thought's Witness. It's 650 mana, and to cast it you need the Pharaoh's Sacred Armor. And this will cause an earthquake, and it's going to summon the Ancient Remnant. Well, a ghost of it. It's pretty much the same thing. It only lasts for about a minute. Next there's Conjure Cabalaton. This will do exactly that. It will conjure Cabalaton to fight for you. Higher the level, the higher the number there are and the time they can stay. Next we are moving on to the Evocation spell. There's only one, it's called Pilfer. And this thing will just yoink weapons or object in the hands of your target, essentially disarming them. There's 3 levels of this spell, and I'm not really sure what the different level does. Next, we have the Blood spell. The first one we're gonna get is Hemorrhaging Impact. This one has only 1 level. It's gonna charge up a blast that will shoot a projectile that goes through enemies and hit back with another slash of blood, dealing disabled and hemophilia. Then we have Burst Strike. This one will create a slash in front of you, dealing damage just like its fire version, but you can heal from 35% of the damage done if you have the max level. It can be multicasted too. Then we have Final Rend. This will charge up a powerful slash that will annihilate everything in front of you, healing from 100% of the damage dealt. Then we have the Ender spell, starting with Void Rune. This will conjure Void Runes at your target. This will deal massive amount of damage that will stay for a while depending on the level of the spell. Next spell is Void Bulwark. I will summon a circle of Void Rune around you. The higher the level, the higher the number of ring. Then we have Gravity Storm that summon a Void Vortex that lasts a number of time depending on the level. The higher level is 24 seconds. Targets will be stuck in the vortex just like the Ender Guardian, and after a while the vortex will explode. Then we have Gravitational Pulse. If you are standing, this is going to pull mobs, and if you're crouching, this is going to push mobs. Next we have the Ice Spells, and the first one we're looking at is Phantasmal Blade. This summons the blade of the Afterganger around you. The higher the level, the higher number of Phantasmal Blade, and this can be recasted 3 times. And this one deals more damage if the Soul Render or the Annihilator is in your hand. Next we have the Cursed Rush, which rushes just like Maledictus, leaving Halberd where you started and where you ended. Once again, if you have the Soul Render or the Annihilator, you will deal more damage. Next spell is Conjure Undead Trolls, and for each level, it summons 1 undead to help you fight. These can be Elite Draugr, Royal Draugr, and I don't see the normal one, so I guess it's one of these 2. The next is Foregone Rage, and this one puts you in a rage that you deal starting at 60% damage for the last level and 20 for the first one. But every single time you deal damage, your hit will do even more next shot, maxing up at 4 strike, but weakens you afterwards. And next we have a really strong spell called Malevolent Battlefield. This one will take a long time to cast, and I'm not sure what my character is doing right now, but summons a massive ring of Halberd from the ground. For each level of the spell, another ring is added, up to 10 ring to the last level. And for the last ice spell, we have Cryo Piercer. This one needs to be in a book because it can be multicast. And it throws ice block that will freeze your opponent. The higher the level, the higher the number of spell you can cast and the higher the damage. Then we have the Nature spell, starting with Pharaoh's Wrath. This functions very similarly to the Foregone's Rage. Increase your damage by each consecutive hit up to 4 hit, 20% per hit, and 5% to use spell power, also by adding spell power. So, combining this with the Rage from Maledictus is going to be completely insane. The only problem is that when you have this, your buttons are reversed. That we have Conjure Amethyst Crab, and that is, well, as written. It conjures an Amethyst Crab to fight for you. There's only 1 level of Amethyst Crab, and it has 200 health, and will stay for 10 minutes. You can also ride the Amethyst Crab, and it is surprisingly fast. Then we have Amethyst Puncture. This one throws a projectile of amethyst at your target. This one seems surprisingly underwhelming compared to the others, because the damage is extremely low. Now let's move on to Monolith Crash, and depending on the levels, the number of rings of Monolith will increase, up to 1 ring per level of spell. Then we have Desert Wind that throws a tornado in front of you, piercing and dealing massive damage. Compare that to the Amethyst Puncture that does a measly 6, unless there's something that I don't know. And finally there's Sandstorm. This one will call again a tornado spinning around you. Well, 3 if you're at the max level. Higher the level, the higher the damage and the higher number of tornadoes. There's only 3 levels, so 1 per tornado. So now we are done with the classic School of Magic of Iron Spell and Spellbook, and it's time to move to the 2 unique School of Magic from Cataclysm Spellbook. Starting with the smaller one, the Abyssal School. And the first one we're gonna look at is Abyssal Beam. This one requires a target and will summon one of the beam from the Deepling Warlock. This beam is massive and will deal a good amount of damage for a very long time, afflicting them with Abyssal Burn. The higher the level, higher the damage. Then we have Abyssal Blast. This one costs a whopping 1000 mana, and it's going to cast, well, the laser from the Leviathan, dealing massive damage. Next one we're going to look at is Dimensional Rift. This one will create a rift, again just like the Leviathan, that will draw in random items and enemies towards the rift. So we put a zombified piglin, and here we go towards the rift. It also, yeah, grief block. As you can see, my arena is getting completely destroyed. Next we have Death Charge, and this one summons an army of mines around you. Then when these mines collides with an entity, if we can place one, we cannot. Let's put a piglin. It explodes on contact. And since it's 3-dimensional, I guess it works best with flying mobs or underwater. Next we have Abyssal Predator. This one, we have to go in the water to test it. Makes you a very good swimmer, as well as boosting your damage, giving you 60% attack speed, 60% damage, and 120% for swim speed at level 3. Next we have Tidal Tear, which create a slash all around you. This is a good mob at crowd control since it's all around you. Then we have Tentacle Laceration. This spell works similarly to the Tidal Claw, shooting tentacles hitting multiple enemy in succession. And finally, we have Conjure Claudian. Well, that's pretty much what it does. It conjures a Claudian to fight for you. Be careful as it can grief blocks. And I somehow forgot Conjure Coral Golem and Conjure Coral Sus. And the Coral Sus is the only one you can ride. And finally, we kept the biggest school for the end, and it's the Technomancy School. This one has a lot of technological spell, mostly related to the Harbinger. So let's start with Hardware Upgrade. This will give you 15% armor at level 3 and 30% attack damage, which is another spell that you can use to boost your power. The next spell, function on a summon, it's called Rewire. This will give bonus to your summon, giving them bonus on speed, attack damage, armor, and armor toughness. You can aim more than one because it can be recasted. Casting on the same will not boost it more. Next spell is called Shutdown. This will shut down the mob for a number of times. The higher the level, the longer they stay stunned. Next spell is extremely powerful. It's called Distributed Denial of Service. That's a weird name, but this will dispel all summons and all spell effect around you. This is a dispel magic on a wide area. Then we have Construct Prowler. This takes a long time to cast, but summons a Prowler to fight for you. You can also construct Watchers. Each level will be one summon, and it's a good time to try the Distributed Denial of Service. Next we have Missile Barrage. This one targets multiple enemies, and once all of the effects are casted, we'll throw a missile at them. At 1 missile per level of spell. Then we have DOS Swarm. This will summon a bunch of DOS Watchers. These are different for the normal Watcher because their attack will dispel anything they touch. Then we have Atomic Laser, which is the laser from the Harbinger. This one, you cannot move your head when you're casting. There we go. The higher the level, the higher the damage. Then we have Laser Bolt, which is a multicast spell that shoots a laser, just like the Watcher or the Harbinger. The cooldown is very low, so you can easily spam it, just like any normal bolt spell. Next, we have Lock On. This one needs a target. It will display a target above itself. It's stun, and you can deal damage. Next, we have EMP. This one creates a pulse from you, stunning mobs around you. The higher the level, the longer the stun. Then we have Parting Shot that charges up a weapon and deals damage on hit while breaking blocks and also inflicting Wither. Next we have Overcharge. This one gives 10% increase in Overcharge as some stat, but only for the armor from the Technomancy, giving you 10% per level for cooldown reduction for the Excelsius Velocity, more mana for the Excelsius Adversary, and more spell resistance for the Excelsius Oppressor. And next we have Intrusion Prevention System. This spell will prevent you and your summon to be counterspelled or be attacked with projectile. Next we have Aerial Assault. This summon bombs from the sky that falls on your target, inflicting them with Wither. Then we have Flashbang that throws a flashbang, blinding nearby's enemy. Then we have Software Update. This one increases your speed by 15% for the level 3 and 30% cooldown reduction, but it only lasts for 10 seconds. Then we have Disabling Swipe. This one is a multicast, so it can be casted multiple times, and it only works somehow, I think it's bug, on the last hit, but this prevents enemies from being healed. Then we have Gear Shift. This is a boost ability that shoots you forward. It can be casted in really quick succession, and it's very useful with your Elytra to keep your momentum. Then we have Reboot. This spell heals you and also heals your ally. And finally, we have Surveillance Drone. This one creates a drone above your summon, protecting it and healing it if it gets hurt. So this was all of the spells from the Cataclysm Spellbook mod. Let me know if I missed anything. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.